got just about 15 minutes before we have to leave, so I'm just going to have a quick bit of breakfast. 2 pieces of wholemeal toast. That's 1 healthy extra. I've got 4.5 sins of peanut butter, 1 sin of cherry jam. So this is 5.5 sins, 1 healthy extra B. I've got Marmite on the other one with Satsumas on top, and I've got some apple on the side left over from the kids' breakfast. And a decaffeinated coffee with almond milk. Hiya, so I'm back home now. It's just probably coming up to about 4:30. Back home and pick up the kids. I have had for my lunch I had chilli and rice. It's free food, so no sins. And I'm just now putting this in the microwave, which is leftover chilli. Leftover chilli I put in there, and I put some tomatoes with it. I'm going to give that a little minute in the microwave or so, you know, kind of 2 or 3 minutes worth of time in the microwave. I had some hummus as well with my, you know, kind of homemade hummus, sin-free hummus with my dinner as well. So today a chap came into the shop and just had a quick chat with us, sort of in the mid of our lunch time, and we rely quite heavily on that lunchtime period to be kind of just us just having a bit of chill out time, you know, have a bit of lunch, watch some telly and just calm it right down, ready for the next section of our day, which for my partner is being in the shop by himself, and for me is picking up the kids and bringing them home, feeding them, and you know, all that kind of business, and then make some tea. So it was totally fine, because sometimes we do have people pop in and have a chat and stuff, so we're kind of used to it. But for today, for some reason, it really got to me. I sort of felt like I really hadn't had enough kind of calm down, relaxed time, and I sort of put my head on my desk. You know, he was a friend and stuff, so it wasn't kind of being rude, but I just put my head on my desk and just kind of had a little bit of a zone out, you know, like a little power nap. And he started talking about, sort of said he commented that I was just having a little zone out time, and I sort of felt very defensive, and I said I don't mean to be a martyr, but I end up staying up quite late getting all the things done, so I don't tend to have a tremendous amount of sleep. And I feel like I was a bit over exaggerating really, because last night I stayed up, I'd sort of done all my jobs really by 8:30, but you know, some nights when you just feel like you want more wind down time than you're actually getting, you don't feel quite ready to go to sleep, you actually want to relax a bit more. So I watched a film, and so I think I was in bed by 11, which is a little bit earlier than I normally was before, you know, so it wasn't sort of like crazy late. So there's elements where my life, especially because of the work I put in, the reason why I had a bit more time on Tuesday was because of the work I put in on Sunday night, chopping the onions, and working hard on Monday night to make the chilli already, you know, trying to really be time management-y so I get it all done on time. And I kind of wondered why I reacted the way I did. I think I felt, it's almost, because it's like a balance between making it out to be worse than it is, or defending why you're doing what you're doing, because I know that realistically my life isn't that hard, because so many people do what they're doing, and all it is about time management. And I've built in a lot of scenarios now where I can cope with a lot because of how I look after my body. You know, I eat well, I take rests when I need it, and it's just sometimes these things happen, and you're suddenly faced with this thing where you're right back to how you used to believe that you were in, and I'm pretty sure it's defensive behaviour. but it's left me feeling very defensive. It's left me feeling quite sort of like I have to justify why I need the self-care, and I suppose that's where it comes down to. I suppose I don't believe fully that I need the self-care, so there's an element where my brain has to try and make it out as worse than it is, so that I'm entitled to it, whereas I know realistically we all need self-care, no matter what we're doing or how much work we're putting in, that the self-care has to come first for us to be able to function properly. I need that time out in the middle of the day, so I've got enough energy for the rest of it, so that when I stop at around 7:30, 8ish, I've got a bit more energy. So for example, now I've got break time realistically, haven't I? I mean, I'm just about to eat some food before I make some tea, so I know how to fit breaks in. I was just fascinated by the way it made me feel. Yeah, and because I started the statement as I don't mean to sound like a martyr. It's like so I protest too much, and I wonder if there's elements of me being like a martyr, just saying, oh, you know, look at all the stuff I've got to do. I mean, that's not really me. I don't really do that, and I wonder if I wonder if there's an element of me where I don't. It's like a defensive thing. I know I was feeling very defensive about the ability just to shut down for a few minutes, and it wasn't being funny with me or anything. I just felt like I had to explain myself and explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I suppose it's got mixtures of feeling inadequate, mixtures of feeling like you're not doing enough, mixtures of feeling like I could try harder. Hiya. Hey.
Got a new thing.
You got your sticker, haven't you?
I
What does
bumped
that say
my
on it?
elbow again.
You bumped your elbow, I see. Which elbow?
Now you.
Now I've bumped my elbow.
Yay!
Got the sticker. They have a little sticker at school where if they bump themselves, it says, ouch, I had a bump today on it. And then you know if they've bumped themselves. Benjamin has those often. Head bumps and all sorts. So, yeah. So basically what that's left me feeling is a little bit guilty for having time off, a little bit nervous about relaxing around other people, and so I feel, so in terms of food, there's a tiny bit of my brain that kind of wanted some comfort in food. I've just made some cheese and crackers for the children to have a snack when they come back from school. So there was a bit of me thinking I'd keep some cheese and crackers. I'm kind of more practiced now in my brain, going, not really. I'm like, you don't really want that. That's not really going to help you in terms of your brain chemistry. Yes, you can have it as a snack, nothing wrong with it, but that's not really what you choose realistically to help you be the best kind of mental state that you can be. So that's why I'm heating up that chilli instead. But I'm just going to watch it. So I'm going to purposefully take some break. I know what I've got to achieve tonight. I've got to achieve a pasta sauce, like a pasta with veg. The kind of like pasta with kind of mixed veg, which will be you know, some tomatoes and those types of things, which will be like Mediterranean veggie type thing going with it, which my partner will have with cheese, and I normally have with half an avocado as a kind of sauciness to it. I don't know how to describe this kind of a little extra creaminess. So I know realistically that what I've got planned out is achievable and not too much. I try and make sure that these days are not too much. Sometimes work can be stressful, so you don't want to come back and have to do loads extra, because it makes me my stress levels rise too much and it becomes intolerable. So I know what I'm doing is sensible, but there's a big bit of me that feels, yeah, that I don't. I mean, he didn't say anything about that I was bad for resting or anything, or he kept saying, you know, because he's kept saying about, oh, you know, you kind of holidays and things like that, and I realise I don't relax very easily because I worried I'm going to have to do something immediately. I feel far more relaxed if I can just have a little bit of relax but still be ready to do stuff immediately. So I don't feel comfortable fully letting go, fully relinquishing, because just in case I've got to do something immediately. So I realise that's an issue I have, where I don't want to relax too much, and I also have an issue about relaxing around other people, because it makes it harder for me to function if I need to function quickly. So yeah, I do have an issue around those things that might be worth exploring at some point in the future. But anyway, that's where I am at the moment, and I'm going to just have a sit down. I'm going to have a hot drink, and eat the chilli just before I start making some tea. So the kiddies have had their snack. I shall make them some tea in a little bit after they've had their snack. So it's all going to plan. Just my head needs some re-tinkering in there, just to make sure I'm not scuppering myself unnecessarily. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. I'm going to see you in a bit when I'll take if I eat something a bit later. Okay then, bye. Yeah, just having an apple and a decaffeinated coffee with almond milk. Oh yeah, I've just had 4 olives, so I'll count it as a sin. Should be 5 olives, but I only had 4 olives left. So yeah, I'm doing pretty well, doing okay mentally. Some tough bit just a little while ago, kind of wanting something to bolster me, but sort of not eating anything to bolster. So just had those olives as like a bit of a satiating something in my mouth, just to help me through wanting to eat loads of crisps, etc. So at the moment I've just made some. Yeah. I had some crisps the other day. I think the day she was sick, she had some crisps, and now she's associated crisps with making her puke. So she doesn't like crisps. So I've just made some, basically that's the pasta, and that's the veg part of the pasta and veg. Sort of courgette, sweet corn, onions, sort of chopped fresh tomatoes, with some chilli in there, ground chilli, crushed chilli flakes, paprika, oregano, and some tomato puree. So I used to put olives in that as well, which I would do if I didn't really have any olives. So I only had 4, so I used that then instead of putting them in. But the olives are quite good because you just put 15 olives in, and it would be kind of 1 sin a portion, because my partner would have some, and we'd split the rest of it. Just got caught out, I think, trying to use too much willpower. If I say no to things too much, then it just catches me. So I've just eaten some. I made some pancakes for the kiddies, and they had some leftover on their plates they didn't want to eat, and I ate them. So they were about 1 sin per pancake. I've measured them out before, done them before. No thank you, Benjamin, no thank you. No thank you. I think there was about 6 to 8, something like that. So that's about 8 sins, I'd say. I've had a sausage. I did try and do a kind of a sausage to kind of stem it all, but today didn't work out to plan. But we've got, I think I'm still within my sins.
Spread your hand like that.
I don't want to. Don't want you to hit me with the hand. Don't want to do that.
No, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, gently though. I don't want to be hit. Thank you. So I had 5.5. So I've had. So I think I'm just within my sins for the day. Because I had 6. I was up to about 6.5, I think, with my olives, because we had 5.5 this morning with my toast, 6.5 with my olives, 7.5 with the sausage, and so yeah, I think I'm about 15.5 or something like that. So you know, I'm only just over. But again, it's just my body just wanted something to bolster me today, and I tried my absolute hardest to find a different way, but today did not work. Again, sometimes these things don't work out to plan. I'm going to make a hot drink. No, thank you, don't want that thrown. No, don't want that thrown, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's the flour in the pancakes, the kind of I don't know, as the fattiness, I suppose. I tried to sort of stem it with the stodginess of the sausage and the fattiness of the olives, but I think I struggle if I say no to things too often. It catches me in the end, so it's a challenge sometimes. But I'm going to go and get 1 minute. I'm just going to go and make myself a hot drink now and take that upstairs with us. And I will see you in a little bit. I think I'm over the worst of it now. I'll let you know if anything has happened. Benjamin, it's okay. Won't be a second. Calm, relax, chill. Okay, see you in a bit. Hello. Right. Well, so I'm over my sins today. I got caught out with bolster eating today again. So I am aware, I think it was I can't remember when I had the quiche, I got caught out with the quiche. It might have been Monday, I can't remember exactly what day it was, but I now know that there's 2 days this week. The quiche was counted, so I wasn't over my sins, but it was on something that was a trigger food, if that's the right word, or it's a binge food, like an old type of, because it's not comfort food, because there's comfort food, you know, with you know, jack potato, or you know, there's lots of other comforting foods, but this is a different type of food. It's a what I would call like a binge inducing food. It doesn't have a very easy end to it, whereas when you eat Slimming World food, it sort of naturally finishes, and you haven't got any kind of overtones of kind of like where you can't stop eating. It doesn't happen so much with just normal Slimming World food in terms of free food and speed food. So I would class what I've experienced today and the other day as alarm bells. So it's a little warning system in place, whereby if I've gone off plan, and I know I'm existing in quite a tight diet at the moment, in terms of I know I'm attempting to be vegan, and I know I'm doing no added sugar, so I know all of these things I can put in my sin allowance. I know I can have chocolate, I can have crisps, I can have all of the foods, but I'm choosing at the moment to not do those things, because I feel much better without them. So I know full well, and I've done it for a long time now, where I've eaten perfectly healthy, perfectly well, no issues whatsoever, so I know I can do it. It's not like it's a problem, and it's not unhealthy. It's just that I need to now, I think, do a little for and against list. It's making me aware that I wonder if the popping below my target was a bit of a trigger situation, because I am sort of fearful of change, fearful of the pressure. I mean, I know I said about the fact that I didn't want it to make it sort of pressure on me, but I think it must have had a little bit of an effect on me. There must be a bit of a worry surrounding it. I don't know exactly what it is. And I know perfectly well that at 10 stone 11, I'm perfectly within my BMI. There's nothing wrong with that. So I could stick at the bottom end of that other target for quite a while. I'm going to see how I get on Monday, whether I put a bit more weight back on. I might have done, in which case I sort of don't have to worry about it, as it were, and I'll just stick at the other target for a bit. There's a bit of me wondering whether I should just stay at the other target for a little bit. And there's another bit of me wondering if that's kind of why my brain's sabotaging myself, so that I will put the weight back on and just keep myself in the other target. But I think I'm going to sit down this evening. I don't have a tremendous amount to do this evening. I've just got to prep I've done the pasta. All it is putting it in the containers for tomorrow. I'll just do a bit of washing up. I didn't use hardly any cutlery or anything or things like that making this evening's meal, so there's not a lot to tidy up. To put the washing in, etc. And so it's not a big deal tonight. So I'll have a bit of time tonight just to relax and calm. But I'm going to sit and do a for and against list and have a good old think in my brain as to what's... So my for and against list is going to be about my vegan and non-sugar lifestyle that I've chosen to do on Slimming World. I'm going to put it in that bracket, and I'm going to say why I want to continue to eat like that, and the benefits and also the negatives. So I'm going to sit down and do that, and I'll probably put that up as another video as I read out those bits and pieces that I've thought about. It might take me a day or so to kind of get all of the fors and against, but I might do it all tonight, so I'll see how we go. But so I'm going to piece together this video, get this uploaded, and then I'm going to have a hot drink, and I'm going to I'm just going to upload this one, so that's on its way, and I will then I'll see you tomorrow, and I will upload a for and against thing for myself, just to help me really get to grips with why I'm doing what I'm doing and why it's a good idea, and why because I think sometimes, saying no to things too often, it's been tough nowadays because there's more things in the house that I used to, more trigger foods, more things I would eat, used to binge on and such, and it's been good in a way for me to have them in the house, because it's tested me in terms of thinking, do I want this or do I not? And most of the time I'm successful, it's not even a big deal, but on those occasions that my bolster, because it seems to be bolster eating really is the big thing for me, and if I'm at all low or tired or anything, or it just gets me, so yeah, okay, right, I'll finish here and I'll do my for and against, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much everybody for all your support, and I would be fascinated to know if what I've been talking about today has kind of triggered any memories for you, any advice you have, any experience around what I'm struggling with at the moment. I would find that invaluable. So thanks guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.